and welcome to Viewpoint. My name is Volodymyr Ohryzko, and right now I'm joined by the Foreign Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, Mr. Volodymyr Ohryzko. Mr. Ohryzko, welcome to Viewpoint.
Good to see you, Mr. Volodymyr.
Mr. Ohryzko, end of September, Russia started an open and large-scale air operation in Syria. Can you tell us what do you take out of this move? Is this Russia's attempt to make sure that President Assad remains in power and Russia remains at influence in the Middle East, or are there any other alternative motives?
Look, if we are speaking about the Russian foreign policy, we should really do understand that it is a very stable one. Stable in its aggressiveness, in its attempts to set priorities which are important for the Russian Federation. Talking about Syria, I would say that the purpose is quite obvious. They would like to have a special place, not only in Syria as a country, but in the region as well. Look, some years ago...
So basically they're trying to make sure that they remain their influence in the Middle East.
Yes, of course, not only remain, but also to make their presence more effective and more visible. Some 2 years ago, they have a very small military base in Tartus. Now they have already 2 air bases as well. So they look, what they are doing very effectively, in my view, they are putting agenda what they want to have. They are playing chess with white figures, unfortunately. Neither we in Ukraine nor people in the West do understand that only following this agenda will be very bad for both of us, for Ukraine and the West as well. So in my view, we should not follow Putin's way of thinking, but to prepare and to propose some models how to counteract them, how to find solutions which would be really in the interests of both Ukrainian state and the Western countries.
Mr. Ohryzko, would you say that this open Russian presence in Syria, because obviously Russia was present there throughout the entire conflict, this open Russian presence in Syria is a way of President Putin to draw the attention away from Ukraine, from eastern Ukraine, because Putin is giving up on Novorossiysk project?
I don't think so, because the main purpose for Putin is, of course, not the Syria, even not the Middle East. The main purpose for Putin is to discriminate Ukraine, to eliminate Ukrainian statehood as such, to show to everyone that Ukraine is a failed state. So it is only an attempt to show to everyone that, look, for the time being, probably we have created our results in the East. We have occupied Crimean Peninsula. So we have now free hands to show to all of you that we will continue our policy, not taking any account on what you are thinking, but what you are doing. So once again, he is playing a very hard policy. He is well aware that neither we in Ukraine now, nor people in the West are ready to act accordingly.
And by acting accordingly, do you mean the direct confrontation?
I mean to show Putin that his way of thinking and doing business is wrong. It could be done by different means. You have just mentioned military aspect. Could be also possible, say, in the Middle East. But there are other, I would say, peaceful opportunities how to show to him that his
this is what the West is doing, and this is what the civilized world is doing. They've excluded Russia from G8. Now it's G7. Putin is feeling the somewhat diplomatic isolation on the international arena.
Unfortunately, it's not enough. Look, some 2 or 3 weeks ago, one gentleman from the White House said that if we will say about the sanctions against Russia, so we are on the reached the 3rd point among 10. So we have another 7 points how to influence on the Russian Federation economically, first of all. Look, Russian economy for the time being is really in the worst position since many years. Even the crisis of 1998 was not so critical for Russian economy that this one. It means that using very understandable and very simple instruments like economic sanctions, you can reach very good results, not using any military threat.
Yeah, but that doesn't look like Putin is backing off because of the economic sanctions.
I don't think so, because in fact I read yesterday some analysis from the Russian authorities. They said that Russian economy next year will be balanced, whether it will be in a position to develop further or to stagnate as this year or previous one. So it's not so easy to say that Russia will overcome all these economic difficulties during 1 or 2 years. In my view, if even these very limited sanctions will be continued, Russian economy will not survive more than 2 or 3 years.
But again, Mr. Ohryzko, it doesn't seem like the crumbling Russian economy is something which makes President Putin stop or back off.
Look, I remember
he's diverting the attention of his people into other matters.
I remember the 80s of the 20th century. It was the same situation when people in Kremlin were saying, look, first of all, we should develop our military complex. Soviet army is the strongest in the world. What about economy? It's not a very important issue. We will survive. And all of a sudden, Soviet Union was isolated in a couple of months. So it means that it is not so easy not to understand what's going on in reality. We should not underestimate what is going on in the Russian economy.
Mr. Ohryzko, just recently, Ukraine became a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. Can you explain to us, what does this give Ukraine politically, diplomatically, obviously apart from the right to vote at the Security Council?
I would say it's a very important diplomatic achievement of the Ukrainian government, only taking into account one reason, because the another one, I mean the veto right for Russia will allow this country to stop any initiative we are going to propose. But on the other hand, it is very important place where we can present and explain our position to the rest of the world. It is absolutely important to form and to develop this, I'm calling this anti-Putin international coalition. Our governmental officials are talking about pro-Ukrainian. Okay, it's no problem. The idea is really to combine efforts of the whole international community to show to everyone that what Putin is doing is absolutely out of the international order. It is violating international law. It is violating all possible bilateral and multilateral agreements, etc., etc. So, having this chance, we can really, during the next 2 years, at least try to form this coalition, which will help us to go ahead. Because I mentioned this veto right, which will be, of course, used by Russia in any cases. But in 1950, General Assembly issued a resolution which was called "Uniting for Peace." And according to this resolution, if the Security Council is not in a position to take a decision which is connected with the international peace and security, then the General Assembly can issue a resolution, but it should be done by 2/3 of members of the General Assembly.
Has it ever been applied?
It means that we should at least find more than 130 member states who will support this idea.
But has this been ever applied? So basically, is there a precedent?
It was applied once, that 1950, but after that it was not the case.
Understood. Well, Mr. Ohryzko, many thanks for finding the time to come and talk to us. We'll be following these developments really closely, and we really hope to have you again in our studio as our distinguished guest.
It was also my pleasure to be with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. This has been Volodymyr Ohryzko for Viewpoint, together with the Foreign Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, Mr. Volodymyr Ohryzko. Thank you for watching us.